Supposed to be left or right?
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Jeff May Complex at Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina for tonight's Turbo National Game of the Week on NSCAATV.com. Emerson Phillips with you here with Chris Ayer, Lander, and Wingate, the game of the week this week. And Division II men's soccer coming your way tonight. We're just minutes away from the opening kick of tonight's match. Lander comes in number 12 in the nation. Peach Belt Conference. Coker 4-2 on Wednesday of last week. State 3-2 in overtime. We talked with both head coaches.
Are good team, but this is an important region game for
It's supposed to be left or right?
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Jeff May Complex at Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina for tonight's Turbo National Game of the Week on NSCAATV.com. Emerson Phillips with you here with Chris Ayer, Lander, and Wingate, the game of the week this week. And Division II men's soccer coming your way tonight. We're just minutes away from the opening kick of tonight's match. Lander comes in number 12 in the nation. Peach Belt Conference. Coker 4-2 on Wednesday of last week. State 3-2 in overtime. We talked with both head coaches.
Are good team, but this is an important region game for us tonight.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the game tonight. I mean, it's a massive challenge for us regionally. These are the two teams that battled out last year in the regional semis, so it's going to be a tough game for us. University Bearcats get a little bit even on us from last year, and we're going to have to play at goalkeeper number 1, Barrett Nielsen. Put away our chances.
Number 3, Oliver Gergain. Number 5, Louis Blissett. Number 7, Kevin Durand.
Coming up, friends, the third annual Turbo Pro Soccer Combine. It'll be in Charleston, South Carolina, December the 10th through the 13th. You can sign up now at our website, turbosportsgroup.com. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back to Greenwood, get you set for the opening kick of tonight's match, the Lander Bearcats and the Wingate Bulldogs on the Turbo Sports National Game of the Week.
Why do students choose Lander University? With more than 60 areas of study, an exceptional honors college, unique master's programs, vibrant campus life, competitive athletics, and exciting opportunities for study abroad and experiential learning. There are so many reasons why students choose Lander. Plan your campus visit today and discover why you'll choose Lander University. Lander, your state university in Greenwood, South Carolina.
What is Wingate? A thriving university nestled in a quiet community near Charlotte. Named 6th best value in the South by U.S. News & World Report. Leading the way in the health sciences with pharmacy, PA studies, and nursing. What is Wingate? Big enough to offer 22 NCAA sports. Small enough to attract the best and brightest in the world. What is Wingate? Wingate is you. Wingate University. Major in a great life.
The new fall flooring styles are here, and we've got them on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Save on new hand-scraped and exotic hardwood, bamboo, laminate, and more. Choose from 53 floors under $2 a square foot. Don't wait. Sales going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
Hey, Missy. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I just don't want you boys to be late for your big game. Okay, have fun. I'll be right here after the game.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Back at the Jeff May Complex in Greenwood, South Carolina. This is Lander University home game. Emerson Phillips with Chris Ayer. And we are ready for tonight's matchup. Lander and Wingate. Wingate's out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Non-conference matchup tonight, but two outstanding programs in Division II men's soccer. We'll get it underway here in just a few moments. Chris, an exciting matchup tonight as Lander takes the field here, and a beautiful facility, first of all, that Lander players are fortunate to call home. This is as good a facility in Division II as you'll find.
Yeah, it's one of the best facilities in South Carolina, to be fair.
So we get a look at the pitch here. Lander in white, Wingate in blue and yellow. And Chris, there is one of the interesting things about Wingate is the pronunciation of the school's name. And my first question to a couple of the Wingate assistant coaches is, how do you pronounce the school's name? Some people pronounce it Wingate, right, and others pronounce it Wingate. And one of the players piped up and said, I'm from New York, it's Wingate. And one of the trainers said, well, I'm local to Charlotte, and we call it Wingate. Right. So we're going to go with Wingate tonight. That is the local pronunciation in Charlotte. Wingate and Lander here. We'll have two 45-minute halves, and if necessary, a pair of 10-minute golden goal overtimes. These teams familiar with one another, Chris, and that they met in the playoffs a year ago, and Wingate won that match 2-1 to end Lander's season.
They did the second round, I think, of the NCAA playoffs last year. Great game. Good one to be a part of. Very, very intense, high-paced game.
So we are underway here at the Jeff May Complex. There's a softball field here, beautiful baseball park as well. It is a first-rate facility here at Jeff May Complex, and Jeff May is the athletic director at Lander University. We'll be talking with him when we move through the broadcast here tonight. So two 45-minute halves and starters for the two teams here. First for Lander, Chris, we've got Barrett Nielsen in goal.
Yeah, great player. I think he's got 5 shutouts on the year. Has 29 saves, I think, in about 800 minutes. So he's done very well between the pipes this year.
Olivier Gergen is a defender along with Louis Blissett. We have Stephen Bray as well for Lander wearing white tonight. Midfielders for the Bearcats are number 7, Kevin Durand. He's got 6 goals on the year.
Yeah, Kevin's a special player. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He runs the show.
Early corner here for Wingate. And taking the corner will be number 8, Liam Gillespie. Headed on goal and saved by Nielsen. Give you the rest of the Lander starters tonight. Vincent Machado Deleuze from France, wearing number 15, along with Jose Cubian from Venezuela. He's number 16. And number 21, Ian Rosas from Puerto Rico. He's number 21. And the forwards for Lander, number 7, Clement Dauchy. He has got 7 goals on the year.
Clement's a spectacular player. He holds the ball really well and turns on a dime.
Guillaume Palmet, number 22, freshman from Savignon, France, also starting tonight for the number 12-ranked Lander Bearcats under head coach Van Taylor, his 29th year at the helm of this Lander men's soccer program. And Chris, I thought it was interesting. I was reading through the Lander website and come to find out that Van Taylor was drafted in the first round of the North American Soccer League draft in 1975 by the New York Cosmos.
Yeah, he's a fantastic coach, was a fantastic player as well. Got to play against the likes of Pele and others, and just a really great guy to watch and learn from.
Right, 75 was the year that the Cosmos acquired Pele, and that is certainly quite a distinction for Coach Taylor, who played his college soccer at Erskine. He was a goalkeeper. He played several years of professional soccer, played in the Major Indoor Soccer League for a number of years, and is now in his 29th year as the head coach of Lander Soccer.
Yeah, I think his record is like 377, 153, and 31. He's pretty much put a big-time dent on the record books here and has done a phenomenal job.
So here's a battle at midfield won by Lander. Lander wearing white, Wingate in blue. And that ball touched out. It'll belong to Wingate here with just a few minutes gone by here in Greenwood. Victor Tozelli from Brazil with the throw-in for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with both of these teams tonight. I think there are 2 Americans that are starting. Most everybody's an international, and I think there's 1 American coach. I think Coach Taylor's an American coach, and Gary is not, but he's a phenomenal coach as well. Gary Hamill does a great job with Wingate's program.
Very much an international flavor.
Absolutely.
For these 2 teams tonight, no question about that. So Wingate lining up the free kick here with Liam Gillespie. He is from Newcastle, England, and he's one of 8 Wingate Bulldogs from Newcastle, and they all attended the same high school, Monk Seton High School in Newcastle. So the Wingate staff under Gary Hamill working hard to find talent overseas. Both programs doing that, Chris, and you really need to do that in this day and age.
Well, and in Division II soccer, it's a great level, and some of the American-born guys play Division I, and they do a great job of picking up talent overseas.
That is Wingate keeper Sanjit Kong, who is from Canada, and a drive with the right foot. Blistering shot by Wingate, and I believe Nielsen got a piece of it to knock it out, and that'll set up a Bulldog corner kick here.
Wingate's doing a good job right now of knocking the ball down and playing fast going forward.
Both teams like to play possession football. Interesting that they have similar styles in that regard. I was talking with the Wingate folks, and they said, yeah, our style is very similar to Lander. We're going to play possession football tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. I know the last matchup, it kind of opened up a little bit, and folks were getting into space. So it'll be interesting tonight to see if somebody can put a foot on the ball and keep possession.
Another corner coming up here for Wingate. That ball sent in. And loose in the box. And a goal for Wingate.
I think the Lander defenders there got caught watching. It was a good header back into the box. And they lost track of their marks.
The goal belongs to Perron de Silva, the reigning South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week. He had 3 goals in 2 Wingate matches last week.
He appeared to be sitting in the middle of the box, completely unmarked. Found some good space.
And Lander simply failed to clear. That ball was loose in the box. And De Silva knocked it in.
I think Lander's on their heels at the moment. They are trying to settle the game down.
Here's another look at the goal here. The corner chipped in. It was long, but there's the free ball. That's 7 or 8 yards out right in front of the goal.
Yeah, no mark.
The ball taken away nicely there by Lander. Nice ball here by the Bearcats. Number 9 is Douchy.
Good little bit of individual defending there.
Wingate hustled back. Throw in here for Lander. Number 17, Stephen Bray.
Lots of space. Going long over the top.
Long ball here intended for Charlie Machel. Machel, a freshman from Newcastle, England. And Lander able to send that ball out of bounds, but a throw in here for number 7, Sean Gadsby. Lander takes it right back. They'll go the other way with it here. Perron de Silva with the goal for Wingate.
And Wingate's looking to play pretty direct right now. Everything they're doing, it's 1 or 2 passes, and they're trying to go long down the flanks. It's been working so far.
And a good run for Lander, but Wingate again sends it over the sideline. So Lander may have a scoring chance here. And it is 17, Stephen Bray, the junior from England, putting it in. Goal kick the call here.
Did a good job there doubling down defensively.
Good look at Wingate goalkeeper Sanjit Kang. Kang erratic with the goal kick, out of bounds, back to Lander here. Machado DeLuz had it taken away, and Wingate sends it out of bounds one more time here.
You know, Lander's a fairly experienced team. They've got a lot of leadership, and getting down a goal is not an easy thing. But I think they're going to try to settle into this match a little bit and see what they can do. See if they can put the ball on the floor a little bit and see if they can make the ball work.
Header by Douchy for Lander, but a whistle will give it back over to Wingate. We're in Greenwood, South Carolina tonight, located about 80 miles northwest of the South Carolina state capital. Greenwood, a town of about 30,000. The ball sent in by Wingate, but it'll make it out of bounds for a Lander goal kick here.
Wingate must have seen something on film because the majority of the balls they're playing are long over the top of the backs. So they see something they're trying to pick on.
And that was the goal again from Perron de Silva.
That's a good header win there.
Headed on again. And a centering pass. Nobody there for Wingate. Lander will retrieve in the corner.
Giving the ball away through the middle.
Beautiful touch there.
Absolutely.
Wingate with Pedro Figueroa, number 19.
A little too much. Maybe have a go and be a little selfish there.
Lander wins a free ball at midfield. Good defensive work again by the Bulldogs.
Very compact in the back. They're doing a really good job taking away the little channels. There's a big one, though.
Here's Lander, number 19. And a shot on goal saved by Kang in the net for Wingate.
He's got to do better with that service. He had numbers getting forward. Stoppage.
Lander, number 5, Louis Blissett. Sent it in to Kang once again, so Wingate with the lead here. A little more than 12 minutes gone by.
For two teams that possess, there hasn't been a whole heck of a lot of possession. They haven't really put the foot on the ball and started knocking the ball around. Everybody, I think, is just trying to figure out which way the game's going to go, trying to play a little bit direct and see where they can go with it. Referee interrupted that one.
Ball shared nicely here by Wingate. And a left-footed shot and a diving stop by Nielsen. Barrett Nielsen, sophomore goalkeeper out of Ottawa, Canada. Had a dive to his right there, Chris, and Wingate's had a couple of good scoring opportunities with the goal coming from De Silva early in the match.
Yeah, they've done a great job with the opportunities they've had. That was a good save.
Now Lander will try to counter.
Been a little bit unlucky on those final balls into the final third. Lander needs to settle it down and make a little bit more use of what they are making with their chances.
Bray won a ball there for Lander, and now a penalty with a whistle and a foul on Wingate. That was 15. Vincent Machado Deleuze. Good turnout here at the Jeff May Complex. And again, beautiful facilities here for fans to come out and enjoy the action. We got perfect weather tonight. Just couldn't ask for a better night.
That's absolutely beautiful. And it's a very fan-friendly place to watch a game. Very good seating. It lets you see the whole game everywhere. It's really a nice facility.
Lander had students giving out pink ribbons.
Yeah,
for the
Breast Cancer Awareness Week.
That's right. So everybody that came in the stadium got a pink ribbon to pin onto their shirt. This ball headed out off the corner by Wingate. But Lander controls. Bray tried to send it in, but Wingate again compact on defense, as Chris Ayer told you. And Lander with a chance here. But again, Wingate comes out of there with it. Play on, says the referee.
Got the ball first.
And Kang came all the way out to the edge of the box.
I think it was a foul behind the ball. I think this ball's coming back towards midfield.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So Lander will have it. And a left-footed drive wide by Machado Deleuze.
Good effort.
Another good opportunity. Chris,
Yeah.
like to see that shot on goal.
Yeah, he had tons of space. I think he'd want that one back if he had another chance.
But Lander beginning to play itself into this match here. The early goal from Perron De Silva. De Silva, the South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week last week, as we mentioned. Wingate won a couple of matches last week. De Silva scored 1 goal in the win over Bavard and 2 goals in the win over Coker last week. So he's got 4 goals now in his last 3 matches, and he leads Wingate with 8 goals on the season. He's a freshman. Deleuze back to Bray, and it'll go back to Barrett Nielsen.
It'll be interesting to see who really takes the reins. Wingate got a good early goal, and it's going to let them kind of dictate what they decide they want to do. But it'll be interesting to see if Lander can actually bring the game down and slow it down and play the way that they're typically used to playing, and see if they can possess and get themselves back into this game. They've created a couple chances early, but nothing as dangerous as what Wingate's done.
Throw in here for Wingate. Axel Jewell, number 6 for Wingate, got bumped hard, but we play on. And now Lander tries to counter.
No.
15, Machado Deleuze, another shot, this time with the left foot, and Kang was ready.
It was a good save. Lots of traffic in front of him.
So here is Sanjit Kang. Long right-footed kick, well into the opposite end of the field, but Lander tracks it down. So now take away here by Gillespie, number 8 for Wingate. Bulldogs keep possession. Lander able to kick it away. Corner is the call here, Chris. It looked like the Lander defender thought that was off of Wingate, but it was not.
Well, somebody missed that one. Whether it was the team or it was the official, somebody missed that one, and that was something that I know the communication needs to be a little bit better there in the back.
Already the 3rd corner of the match here for Wingate. This ball sent in, and Nielsen able to pluck it out of the air. Slide tackle, sends it out. Out of bounds to the Bulldogs. Now at midfield, Machado Deleuze over to Bray. And an opportunity here for Lander, but the Bearcats unable to control just outside of the box.
That was a great ball in. Great ball in.
Dauchi was there, but he couldn't control. Went to Kang, and here's Kang's kick. And a whistle here. Foul called with Wingate pushing off to gain an advantage.
The referee's calling it really tight here to start this. That's probably a good thing, but he's definitely putting his stamp on the play to start. Oh.
And a foul here just outside the box. That was Lander's Brent Jankowskis. And Lander put it in play, but I don't believe the referee had given a signal to do so.
He must have booked him. Yeah, he earned a yellow card there. Okay. That was the stoppage.
20 yards out here. But just outside the box. So Wingate will set up the wall.
Oh.
Kang just got a piece and deflected it over the crossbar. I believe that was on goal. Here's another look.
Yeah.
I believe Kang just got the fingertips on that to send it over the crossbar.
Great shot by Kevin Durand. Wall did a good job.
Durand with the corner, headed away by Wingate. Lander battling. I believe that's Machado DeLuz fighting to keep possession. But Wingate again able to clear it out of the box.
Another touch foul. Like I said, I think the official's doing a good job, but he's definitely calling it very, very tight at this point.
Yeah, a lot of whistles early on in this match. Throw in here for Lander. 17 is Bray. Bray looking for help. Couldn't find anybody, so now he sends it in. It's De Silva with the yellow cleats. He scored the goal, and Lander will take it. That ball touched over the sideline.
Wingate does a really good job putting numbers around the ball defensively, especially in tight spaces. They don't let Lander get out of very many tight spaces.
Lander ranked number 12 in the NSCAA rankings that came out yesterday. Number 12 in the country, number 2 in the Southeast. And Wingate ranked number 7 in the Southeast. His rankings released yesterday. And Chris, after tonight, Wingate with just 4 matches remaining before the conference tournament begins, and Lander will have 5 matches left.
This is a good tune-up for both their conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament. I think both of these teams are very, very good, and right now it's a little bit of a chess match. I think they're trying to figure out what they need to do with each other, and they're looking to try to build and play.
Lander at 4-1 in Peach Belt Conference play. Young Harris, number 1 team in the nation, 4-0 in the Peach Belt right now. Flagler 4-2-1. Francis Marion at 3-2. Friends, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Torbo Sports. Stay up to date with everything soccer and more on Torbo Sports Group's social media handle for information on live games and more. Follow us on Twitter at Torbo Sports. Wingate's in the South Atlantic Conference, Chris. Queens out of Charlotte right now, 7-0 in that league. Wingate is 5-2. Anderson 4-2-1. Mars Hill 4-3.
There's great competition all over the place up here, and it's just kind of nice. Every game they play is a battle. It's fun to watch.
Kang came out aggressively to defend for Wingate. Lander in white, Wingate in blue. And that ball sent whistling out of bounds. Wingate controlling on the sideline. De Silva bumped in the back, but a Wingate foul.
Offsides, I believe.
Okay. This ball taken away by Wingate, and that ball.
Again, you got to compliment, take your hat off to Wingate at this point. The 1v1 defending and just the individual defending has been fantastic.
And a goal for Lander. From a sharp angle there, Chris. Lander able to punch it in just inside the far post.
Yeah, that was. I want to see that one again.
Kevin Durand scored a goal for Lander, his 7th of the season. And that will knot us at 1 here with 18:45 left in the first half.
That's what Kevin brings to the table. As a midfielder, he is all over the place. He's in the attacking third. He's in the defensive third. He's everywhere, and he does a good job trying to put the ball into the mix and getting forward as much as he possibly can.
There's the ball into the net for Kevin Durand.
Lander did a good job getting themselves back into the game, just playing smart and being simple. The leadership was good. They stayed composed.
Time taken here. We had a dangerous play. A Wingate player undercut a Lander player who had leapt up into the air.
This might be a dissent yellow card.
Number 4, Victor Tozelli. I believe it was Tozelli that was booked there. Barrett Nielsen in goal for Lander tonight. Gave up the early goal to De Silva. Came off a corner kick. And Nielsen really had little chance. And a shot from De Silva that came from only about 8 yards out. This ball chipped in and punched away by Kang, but kept in by Lander, and the shot deflected from inside of the box. That shot by Russell Parker.
Kevin Durand did a great job there. He started that whole sequence and then found his way in. No call.
Machado DeLuz went down in the box on a tackle by Wingate, but did not get the call, and you could see his frustration with the no call. Good work in the box by DeLuz, Machado DeLuz.
Clement Dashi got hit there. trying to shake this off.
Dalshi's a senior. And he is tied for the club lead in goals with 7. Durand scored his 7th of the year tonight to tie us up at 1. And Machado DeLuz taken down again, and this will give Lander a free kick. Oh, I'm sorry, Hobbs, the club leader, with 8 goals, and it's Dalshy and Durand with 7 apiece. Thank you, Chris.
There's a lot of weapons on both of these teams. Lots of goals.
Has Hobbs been in a match tonight, Chris?
I don't think so. That's what I was trying to find out.
Tonight. That's number 8, Chris Hobbs, with 8 goals this year. And this free kick sent well over the crossbar. That was Durand, who had the goal earlier for Lander. Sanjeet Kang will set up another goal kick here for Wingate. Number 8, Liam Gillespie. I believe he was called for the foul there, Chris. He came in, brought his head down low for a header there. And
right.
Dangerous play. We'll give it back to
right there.
Lander.
This game's starting to pick up a little bit. Both teams are starting to get involved and get a little bit more invested.
Wingate controls here with number 7, Sean Gadsby. Lander takes it right back. Number 9 is Dalshy. Durand got shoved in the back. We play on.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little chippy. I think the officials stayed on it early and might have to keep doing so.
Throw in here for number 4, Victor Tozelli from Wingate. More contact here will result in a Lander foul, and Wingate's number 19, Pedro Figueroa, the victim of that foul. So Gillespie sets up the free kick. He's number 8 in blue. 15 in white is Vincent Machado DeLuz. Nielsen well out of the box.
It's a good idea on the ball there. He really drove that in there well. Good, well done by the goalkeeper.
"13 minutes remaining here in the first half. Goals by De Silva for Wingate and Durand for Lander. Now Wingate setting up a cross, deflected by Lander. Machado DeLuz there to collect for the Bearcats. An aggressive tackle near midfield. We play on, a little bit of pushing going on right there. And an obvious foul here and a booking coming up.
Oh, straight red.
Sent off. Wingate's number 13, Callum Ross. I believe that was 13, Chris.
I think so. It's hard to,
Ross.
Might be number 8. It's hard to tell. 8 looks like he's walking towards the sideline, so I would imagine it's him.
Yeah, beg your pardon. It was 8 for Wingate. That's Liam Gillespie. Gillespie and Ross, two of the players for Wingate from Newcastle that all played high school soccer together there, and some of the Newcastle boys came over to speak with the referee about the decision to red card Liam Gillespie.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing all those guys have played together. That's kind of neat. I wonder how many years that goes back, and you know that the chemistry there has got to be fantastic.
So it was Gillespie red carded. Ross coming to Gillespie's defense, pleading his case to the referee to no avail.
You could kind of feel it coming. Like I said, the last few minutes, it was starting to get a little bit chippy, and tackles were coming in a little bit later and a little bit stronger. That was probably the official's way of setting the tone for the rest of the way.
Still taking care of some bookkeeping here. Our referee continues to speak with Colin Ross as Kevin Durand waits to put it in. So Durand finally gets the whistle to put the ball in play, and it's Lander wearing white, Wingate in blue. We're in Greenwood, South Carolina tonight. The beautiful Jeff May Complex is where we are in Greenwood. It's an off-campus facility, but it's only half a mile or so from the Lander campus proper. And another diving stop by Sanjit Kang in goal here for Wingate.
It's going to be interesting to see now what Wingate does, or Wingate, as we have said earlier in the broadcast. Playing with 10 men the rest of the way, we'll have to see what they do tactically.
Right, major advantage here for Lander with Wingate a man down now, 11-10 the rest of the way.
Right, and the way they've been playing a little bit more direct than maybe they thought they were going to. They've been looking to counter through the flanks, and you wonder now what person they move and where do they move them. Although sometimes when you go a man down for the first 5 or 10 minutes, that's when you really have enough adrenaline to get yourself back into a game again. So we'll see what happens.
Lander touched that last ball out. So Wingate awaiting the throw in here with number 7. That's Sean Gadsby. Gadsby working here. Tries to send a pass inside. Nobody there. .21 sent off.
And he just came in. 21 just came in for 19, I believe, is what I was just told.
Gustavo Andrade is in for Wingate here. He comes in for Pedro Figueroa. So a couple of Sao Paulo boys for Wingate, and we've got Lander in possession here. Beautiful autumn evening here in South Carolina. Game time temperature in the low 70s. Beautiful night. No threat of rain. And Chris, we had a women's match here before the start of the men's. Give us the final score on that one.
Wingate won 1-0. Two good teams. It was a good game. Did a good job.
Another substitution here. Lander will send in Michael Johansson. And this is number 12, Brett Jankowskis, with the throw-in. Wingate very solid on the back end of their defense here, Chris. In fact, it took a spectacular play by Kevin Durand to net the one goal for Lander to tie it up in the first half.
Yeah, they've been very good, very disciplined. Like I said, 1v1 defending has been very good. They swarm balls well and really make it tough in the final third for Lander.
The ball off the chest of Callum Ross, and now Ross whistled for the foul.
I think he's going to say he came in, cleats up there, and he's going to book him again. Yep. if you're looking at the way that Wingate's carrying themselves right now, all the hands are up. They're all questioning everything, and they just need to settle themselves back down and play a little bit.
The Wingate goal came in the opening minutes of the match by Perron de Silva, and sometime later, the equalizer by Kevin Durand. Nice cross and a chance for Lander. Oh, Durand couldn't tee it up. He just could not get the shot off.
Another good job of condensing the space by Wingate. Lander created a great opportunity there, and it just didn't happen.
We'll get another look here. There's the cross and the center. And Durand just could not get the shot off, even though he had some space momentarily.
Ball wouldn't stick to his foot.
So a long ball here by Wingate. Bulldogs, left-footed drive wide of the net by number 11, Charlie Machel. Another whistle.
Oh.
Wingate trying to slow the Lander attack on the free kick here. We had a little push right there, but no foul call.
Easy giveaway there. You know, being down a man, Wingate's probably gonna keep a ball and do as much as they can of playing a ball over the top and trying to sneak one in. Hasn't been a whole heck of a lot of building from them recently, especially since the player was sent off.
Lander with number 10, Michael Johansson, just into the match. And that ball cleared away by Wingate's number 10, Guy Andrade. Throw in for Lander. Lander's Jose Cubian taken down, and this will set up a Lander free kick deep in the Wingate end here. So good chance with 5.5 minutes remaining in the half for the Lander Bearcats. And there's number 7, Kevin Durand, who scored the Lander goal. He's got the American football expression is he's got a good motor, Chris.
Yeah, he's got a great motor. He's all over the place.
He just goes and goes. Centering pass off of the free kick by Durand. Loose to the opposite sideline. That ball kept in bounds, and now it is out. It will be Lander with the throw.
Lander's really done a good job settling in and starting to maintain possession. This is typically what they do. They like to keep a ball and knock it around the park a little bit and try to find their chances when they're on.
Corner kick for Lander. So we'll get ready for the corner. Headed out. Long shot wide again here, so Kang will take the goal kick for Wingate.
Wingate's been defending a little bit more recently, last 10, 12 minutes. Landers, like I said, they've done a good job of keeping possession and knocking it around a little bit.
Wingate working on the sideline. Taken away by Lander. Nice work at midfield by the Bearcats, and Lander tried to send it through, and that ball sent out by Andrade for Wingate. So 3 minutes, coming up on 3 minutes left in the half. You see the time on the clock, top right of your screen. This is Dalshy. Nice ball here for Lander. I believe it made it out of bounds.
Want to get slowing the play down a little bit right now, just trying to kill this half. We'll see if either team can build anything in the next 2.5 minutes. Looking to get to halftime 1-1, I think. There's a lot of space on the field right now for Lander. Just playing up a man, it's a lot more time.
Wingate controlled possession time in the early portion of the match, but Lander seems to have had the edge there over the latter part of the first half here.
Wingate did a really good job at the beginning. They came out very, very strong and were very aggressive. Really trying to get in over the flanks. We're doing a good job there.
First half clock continuing to wind down.
Just shaving seconds.
Final minute of the first half now. Wingate with the throw. Number 9 for the Bulldogs, Perron da Silva, was dispossessed, and Lander with the throw in here. Long throw headed by the Bulldogs. It was Da Silva with the left-footed kick.
High kick, I think.
A bit of a delayed call there.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's all. That is half. We asked that adults and children please do not go on the field.
That will bring us to halftime. Wingate had a free kick. Lander may have interfered, and I think that's what the discussion was about. Pardon me, just before we reached halftime, but we have made it to the break, and our score is 1-1. Perron da Silva with the goal early on for Wingate, and Kevin Durand with the equalizer for Lander. Again, Torbo Sports Group presenting NCAA Division II men's soccer tonight. Glad to have you with us on NSCAATV.com. Breast Cancer Awareness Week here at Lander University. And again, all of the spectators that came through the gate tonight received a pink ribbon that they could pin to their shirt or their hat. And that's what we have going on here at halftime.
Yeah, that raising money. Raising money for Kick for the Cure and everything else they've done with the Breast Cancer Awareness Week this month, and have done a really good job. I think they're showing support to all the donors and all the patrons that have really helped everybody out.
All right, we're going to talk with Lander head coach Van Taylor.
He's on his way over here right now. He's walking in behind, and he'll be up here momentarily.
Van Taylor coming over to join us just before we'll break for halftime here. 1-1 our score. Good non-conference matchup, an out-of-conference matchup tonight between Lander and Wingate.
I think the shots were pretty close. I think Lander had 10 and Wingate had 7. I think they both had 4 on goal and both had 3 saves.
All right, Chris, we have Van Taylor. Let's talk with Coach Taylor.
Hey, Coach, well done in the first half. What are your thoughts about what we need to do going forward?
Well, they came out as we expected. They're very dangerous going forward, and they cause us a lot of problems in matchups. But obviously the game changes now with their player being sent off. So our thoughts at halftime are, can we do a better job of retention of the ball? Can we keep it moving, keep it circulating? We're going to need a lot of quick support. And with that, can we try to unbalance them? So that's the challenge we have in the second half. The other thing is we've got to play the ball to feet. They're winning everything in the air. But we've created enough, and hopefully we can sustain that in the second half.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think you guys did a good job keeping possession, and now being up a man, how does that change your strategy of what you want to do?
Well, we need to be patient, and we need to keep the ball. Certainly keep the ball circulating, retention of the ball. But we also need to be aware on transition. As soon as we lose possession, we've got to get in behind because they're very quick in the counter and very quick going forward. And they've got some players up front with some speed and pace and a little bit of creativity. So that's the challenge for us in the second half.
Well done in the first half. And
yeah, thank you, Coach Taylor.
Thank you.
Van Taylor, 29th year at the helm of the Lander soccer program, and we're tied at 1 here at halftime between the Lander Bearcats and the Wingate Bulldogs. Torbos.
Why do students choose Lander University? With more than 60 areas of study, an exceptional honors college, unique master's programs, vibrant campus life, competitive athletics, and exciting opportunities for study abroad and experiential learning. There are so many reasons why students choose Lander. Plan your campus visit today and discover why you'll choose Lander University. Lander, your state university in Greenwood, South Carolina.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
What is Wingate? A thriving university nestled in a quiet community near Charlotte. Named 6th best value in the South by U.S. News & World Report. Leading the way in the health sciences with pharmacy, PA studies, and nursing. What is Wingate? Big enough to offer 22 NCAA sports. Small enough to attract the best and brightest in the world. What is Wingate? Wingate is you. Wingate University. Major in a great life.
Why do students choose Lander University? With more than 60 areas of study, an exceptional
What are we? Friends, this broadcast presented by Torbo Sports Group Production, Innovative Sports Development. This game is part of the 2013 Torbo National Game of the Week Series presented by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America and by Admiral Sports. Coming up, we've got more college soccer action for you. NAIA Men's Game of the Week between Mobile and Auburn Montgomery. And then we've got Louisville and UConn coming up on Saturday at 7 o'clock. And now we've got Division I men's soccer rankings from the NSCAA. California on top right now. Number 1 team in the nation with a record of 9 wins, no losses, and 2 draws. Notre Dame is unbeaten. Washington also unbeaten here, Chris. Top 10 in the nation. And Clemson from here in the Palmetto State coming in at number 9, along with the Chanticleers from Coastal Carolina at 10.
A couple local schools doing a good job representing the state of South Carolina in the Southeast. It's neat to have everybody here. Lots of good soccer in the Southeast.
And the ACC well represented here with Maryland at 4, Clemson at 9. Louisville set to join the ACC, and Notre Dame will do the same. Division II rankings here. Young Harris at number 6.
Another Peach Belt school, very, very talented group, fun to watch. Know a little bit about Simon Fraser and St. Ed's.
Division III top 10, this is men's soccer. Rankings came out yesterday from the NSCAA.
Looks like Ohio Wesley too unselfish in the final third. Needs to put that one on frame.
Getting a look at more Wingate scoring chances. Diving save by Nielsen.
Wingate really came out strong in the first 15 minutes. Really had Lander with their, they were on their heels.
Excellent chance for Machado to lose for Lander, but wide of the net. Get another look at Lander scoring opportunity from the first half. This is Machado Deleuze. And another blistering shot with the left foot and a save by Sanjit Kang, and that was a brilliant save. I thought Kang got his fingertips on that ball to deflect it high.
Absolutely. Kang's been a very good piece for Wingate at the beginning of the game here.
And we saw the tail end of the goal from Kevin Durand, his 7th of the season. De Silva with 8 goals on the year now for Wingate, and another scoring chance late in the first half.
About 15 minutes in, it was kind of a change of pace. I think Lander really kind of started to switch it on, and they started to settle the game down a little bit. All the yellow cards and now the red card for Wingate have really changed this game a little bit.
Machado Deleuze taken down in the box, but no call there. Lander with an excellent scoring chance here. You see the centering pass, but Durand never able to get a shot off. Again, just 7 or 8 yards out, right in the middle of the goal. So 1-1 our score here at halftime.
It's been a fun first half.
All right, we're going to step away for a moment. We'll come back with the start of the second half. 1-1, Lander and Wingate here at halftime. Back in Greenwood, Gary Hamill, head coach from Wingate University. Coach Hamill, early goal from Perron de Silva, who has been outstanding for you this year, and he got you on the board early.
Yeah, he really did, and he's had a terrific season up to this point, and it was nice. He finished it well. It got us up early, and got at least a little bit of momentum on our way.
And your goalkeeper, Sanjit Kang, as well, deflected that one ball over the crossbar off the free kick late in the half, and he's made some good plays in the first half also for you.
He has. He's had a couple of great saves. I mean, he's definitely saved us a couple of times. Otherwise, would be trailing by at least a couple of goals.
Coach, what's your plan of attack for the second half?
Well, I mean, we're obviously going to have to make some adjustments with the red card, and we're going to have to play a little bit more conservatively, and try and catch them on the break. It's going to be a tough second half for us.
Thank you, Coach Hamill. Gary Hamill, 22nd year at Wingate University. And Chris, we need to point out that Wingate will be a man down going into the second half. They were red carded in the first.
Yeah, I think it is going to change their strategy and their tactics, and I think they, like he said, I think they're going to have to sit in a little bit and try to nick one on the counter.
All right, we're 1-1 here at halftime. Lander and Wingate in the Turbo National Game of the Week here on NSCAATV.com. We'll be right back. Side of tonight's match, the beautiful Jeff May Complex. It is beautiful over here, softball field and a couple of soccer fields, and the Lander University Baseball Stadium is here also, and it is absolutely immaculate. Beautiful facility, and we are just about set for the start of the second half. The Paron de Silva goal for Wingate coming in the 6th minute, and Lander scoring later in the first half on the goal by Kevin Durand. But again, Chris, Wingate red carded late in that first half, so Lander will have a one-man advantage for the second half.
It'll be interesting to see if Lander can create some more space and exploit that space, and how disciplined Wingate is and sitting in, and how they're going to have to sit in. Like I said, Wingate's going to have to pick. They're going to have to pick their points.
Lander leads the all-time series between these two, 8-6 with one draw. But again, Wingate defeated Lander 2-1 last year in the first round of the NCAA Division II Southeast Regional. Both teams have faced UNC Pembroke this year. Wingate beat UNCP 4-1. That was on September the 11th, where Lander was beaten by UNCP 3-0 last week, and that's Lander's only loss of the season. And Machado DeLuz down here for Lander. So Durand will take the free kick for the Bearcats. Lander in white, Wingate in blue. And if necessary tonight, we will have 2 10-minute golden goal overtimes. But again, Lander playing with the one-man advantage throughout the second half. Due to the red card on Wingate late in the first half, it was number 8, Liam Gillespie, sent off for the Bulldogs late in the first half. And Gary Hamill said at halftime, Chris, that the one-man disadvantage will obviously force Wingate to be conservative in the second half.
Well, I think tactically it changes what you have to do, and unless there's just an easy opportunity to get themselves forward, they're going to have to possess the ball and knock it around and look to counter quickly if they have the opportunity and the chance. hoping that Lander gets stretched at some point.
Out of bounds here off of Lander. So Wingate will take the throw, and it'll be number 20, Cameron Burrows from Cary, North Carolina, to put it in.
Wingate's already early in this half doing a very good job of putting numbers behind the ball.
A couple of yellow cards in the first half as well against Wingate, number 20, Cameron Burrows, and number 4, Victor Tozelli, and it was number 8, Liam Gillespie, sent off.
Oh, he's got a seam here.
Chance for Lander.
Oh.
And a goal for the Bearcats.
That was very well done. Very well done. Started in the back, played through the middle. Nice little created seam.
The goal for number 9. That's Clement Dalshy.
Having a little bit of fun with the fans.
So Dalshy now has 8 goals on the season to equal Chris Hobbs for the team lead. Durand scored his 7th of the season earlier tonight.
I don't think we've seen Chris Hobbs tonight.
Two to 1 now in favor of Lander. Durand got the assist there. That's his 5th of the year. And it is Lander leading here 2-1. And there's another look at the goal by Dalshy.
Just a great little touch.
Like he went 5-hole there.
I think he did go
Kang.
5-hole.
Right between the legs of Sanjit Kang. For the go-ahead goal here for the Lander Bearcats, ranked number 12 in the nation in the NCAA Division II men's soccer poll that came out yesterday.
And that goal is really going to change the tactics again for Wingate. I mean, they were going to have to sit in and be compressed, and they may be able to do it for a little bit longer and withstand it, but at some point they're going to now have to come out of the shell and really try to nick one back.
Beautiful defense here by Wingate. Cameron Burrows back to defend, and that ball got a piece of Dalshy.
I think he called a handball.
Again, we're live in Greenwood, South Carolina tonight, the home of Lander University. Jeff May Complex is where we are, and we are now joined by Jeff May, athletic director here at Lander. Mr. May, good to see you.
Welcome to Greenwood.
Thank you very much. Wanted to ask you first and foremost about the facility here, the Jeff May Complex, named in your honor. Beautiful facility, and it's not just soccer, it's baseball and softball, and it is absolutely first rate.
Well, we appreciate that, and a lot of people put in a lot of effort to get that accomplished, and this is our 3rd year in the facility, and we're very proud of it. We think it sets the bar pretty high at Division II with regard to this type of facility.
Yeah, the baseball park in particular is, I would say, it rivals or maybe even exceeds a lot of minor league ballparks, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Well, we appreciate that very much, and we've got a great baseball program to support it, and so, and then like you say, we've got the tennis complex here. Softball is a smaller scale of the baseball facility, and then we're real proud of this soccer venue.
It is absolutely gorgeous. What, about a half a mile from the campus, Mr. May?
It's about an eighth of a mile.
Eighth of a mile, okay.
Eighth of a mile from the campus,
yeah.
Just right across the street.
That's right. And, well, the soccer program has had an excellent season this year, just one loss on the year, and you've been ranked in the top 5 in the nation much of the season. Currently ranked number 12, and I know postseason aspirations for this Lander soccer team.
Well, I think that we always start the season that way, and we're proud of both our men and women's program. They've got great records, and they bring in great student athletes, and so we're proud. Coach Taylor, it's hard to believe. I was the dean of students here at the time and hired Coach Taylor, and he was actually a goalie, an All-American goalie at our rival Erskine, but he left and went to Arizona and came in and been with us 29 years.
That's outstanding. Talking with Jeff May, the athletic director here at Lander. Jeff, what is the enrollment at Lander?
We're right at 3,000. Some semesters a little over 3,000, 2,900 to 3,100. Just depends on the semester and the year. But we right around 3,000.
And Greenwood's a beautiful town. A lot of folks outside of South Carolina may not know a lot about Greenwood, but it's a town of about 30,000. And I know the Festival of Flowers is a big event here.
Big event
each year.
Yeah, it is. And actually, the greater Greenwood area is about 50,000, but the city within the limits is about 30,000. But you cross over to the mall. The mall's not considered in the city, so it's about 50,000 thereabouts.
Jeff, I understand you played sports at Lander, and you have quite a reputation here.
Well, I played basketball, and I've been here. This is my 44th fall walking the campus, so it's been a long time.
That's outstanding. We appreciate the hospitality.
And thank you for coming.
Thanks so much. Jeff May, athletic director. So we appreciate Mr. May taking time to join us. And, when you're talking Lander athletics, Chris Ayer, Jeff May got to be one of the first names that come to mind. The complex is named after him here, and a lifetime of contribution to this university.
And rightfully so. I mean, he's been here, like he said, 44 years. He's definitely put his stamp on things. The board of directors named it after him, which is a huge honor. He was being very humble about the basketball. He was one of the best basketball players to ever play here, and extremely athletic guy, and is an absolute competitor. So,
and he's got Lander in his blood, obviously, and really nice to have a former student, a former player in a position of leadership like that. I think Lander couldn't ask for a better person to be running their athletic department, and we appreciate Mr. May once again for taking time and for the hospitality that we've received from everybody here at Lander University. And I used to spend some time in Greenwood when I was younger, and it really is a nice place. It is somewhat off the beaten path, but it's a beautiful town and nothing but good people here in Greenwood.
It's a growing little community. So
the local high school team, well, one of the local high school teams, Greenwood High School, won the state championship in football a year ago. And they are goal here as I'm flapping my gums here, Chris.
That was another great ball to the flank, and just beat him around the corner and played a nice little simple ball in the middle.
So 2 goals in the second half quickly for the Lander Bearcats. And they have taken a commanding 3-1 lead.
Dowshy can light up the scoreboard pretty quickly. He does a great job getting on the end of balls and putting them in the back of the net. Wingate's, like I said before, they're going to have to change the tactics, and I think they had. They started spreading themselves out a little bit, trying to get forward because they needed to nick one back, and it's going to give big gaps for Lander to try to get into and to expose if they have the opportunity to do it.
Chris, how much does the one-man advantage allow Lander to be more aggressive and to take more chances offensively?
Well, with their style of play, they knock it around really, really well. They switch the point of attack very well, and they find spaces that folks aren't in. They do that with 11 on the field, but when people are a man short and they're going to have to stretch and really chase the game, because being down a goal, Wingate was having to chase the game. Now being down 2, they're really going to have to chase the game. It's a big-time advantage.
So De Silva with the first goal of the match for Wingate in the 6th minute. And the 3 subsequent goals by Lander belonging to Durand, Douchy, and the last goal by
Douchy again, I believe.
2 goals for Douchy, right. Thank you.
That was a great opportunity right there for Wingate.
Another substitution for Wingate, number 12, James Carr.
And there is the goal. It was deflected right in front. Douchy got the toe on it.
Beat the keeper to the corner.
Beat Sanjit Kang. Tough play for Kang from such close range. 3-1 Lander.
Oh, another great ball. They're spreading them out a little bit right now. Oh, unselfish. Another great goal.
That's a beautiful pass. I believe that was Machado Deluz with the pass, and the goal belongs to Kevin Durand. Andale.
I don't know what that was, but
it looked like the bull horns. You mess with the bull, you get the
that's right.
bull horns.
They're having fun right now.
I believe it was 15, Machado Deluz, yes. And Durand with a pat on the cheek for Deluz, saying thank you for that brilliant pass.
Completely unselfish in the final third.
Deluz,
Sometimes too unselfish, but they were great tonight.
Machado Deluz could have taken that strike himself there, Chris, but he knew that his teammate was open. And you mentioned, first thing you said, unselfish play, and that's what helped score the goal. 4-1 Lander.
Lander has the ability to light up a scoreboard pretty quickly, and playing down a man for Wingate is not an easy thing. So,
no question, they were facing an uphill battle in the second half. They had to know that.
Absolutely.
Lander knew it also, and they have really been opportunistic, going right after Wingate here in the second half, and have produced 3 goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Really came out strong in the second half.
A pair of goals for Douchy here.
There's another seam. They are absolutely attacking this left flank.
Going to work on that left flank. Douchy had it poked away, but that will set up a Lander corner.
Wingate's trying to get a push, and they're trying to push through the back to get themselves forward a little bit, which is why they're able to stretch out the defenders as much as they are.
That was the last goal by Durand, and Durand will set up the corner kick, directing traffic before this corner. Long ball.
Over everybody.
And it is out, so it will give Wingate the goal kick here. We were tied at 1 at halftime. Lander has erupted here in the second half, playing with a man advantage.
Swap out the goalkeepers here now. 0,
Daniel,
I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
Daniel DeGraff coming in. He's from Statesville, North Carolina. I think Coach Hamill decided to give Sanjit Kang the rest of the night off. Said, hey, we appreciate
absolutely
your contribution tonight. Come
was,
have a drink of water and get a breather.
He was getting run at a lot there at the end.
Yes,
you can't put all that on him.
That's right. Lander to throw it in here. And the pass is in to Michael Johansson. This is Johansson, number 10.
Another seamed ball.
Beautiful ball, but offside call.
I don't know if Wingate would say they've officially gone to 3 backs, but it definitely looks like they're pushing as much as they can through the middle to push one forward.
"13 minutes gone by here in the second half."
Oh, good little piece of work there. Cleaned up nicely by Barrett.
I want to remind you that registration for the 2014 NSCAA convention is now open. Join 10,000 of your coaching peers for soccer's biggest party, January 15th through the 19th in Philadelphia. We guarantee that you will learn something new from the world's best clinicians and gain new connections by attending one of the many networking socials. And you can even get your coaching diploma during the week. Go online, nscaa.com/convention for all the details.
It's in Philadelphia again this year, is that right?
It is.
Fantastic city, great event. Been a few times. It's a great place.
You've been. How many times have you been?
probably too many. So it's a good event.
So you see a lot of folks you know that work in the coaching business,
Yeah.
and you make some new friends, new acquaintances as well.
Absolutely. Lots of networking that goes on, and just a good place to be. The city of Philadelphia does a great job. Everything's close. Everything, you don't really have to go outside. It's really quite nice.
January 15th through the 19th, and it is registration information available on our website. Again, nscaa.com/convention.
At this point, Lander's just picking their poison. Here's another opportunity. Very good with the 1 and 2 touch, just playing very, very simple. Movement off the ball is very good at this point.
So it's Wingate in possession here. Ball headed out off the top of the penalty box. Out of bounds. It'll belong to Wingate.
I think he called a foul. I don't know what it was. I didn't see it.
You're right. Wingate University in Charlotte, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. And Wingate, like Lander, has an enrollment of about 3,000. And they are a school that has made a name for itself in health sciences. And it is a diverse university as well. Very much an international flavor at Wingate University. And again, Chris, two outstanding Division II soccer programs here. And both teams have postseason aspirations, and the postseason will be getting underway in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and both of these teams are quality. So, it's been unfortunate a little bit tonight just because Wingate did go down a man. But that's part of the game, and they've got to regroup and figure it out. But both of these teams, lots to play for the rest of the season, and will be very, very dangerous going down the stretch.
Right, and again, this is a non-conference matchup tonight, so neither team's conference standing affected in any way by the outcome of this match.
Getting around the corner again. Oh, it's a good save.
That's DeGraff again. In goal now for Wingate in place of Sanjit Kang. The goal by De Silva in the first half, just the 7th goal against this year for Nielsen, the Lander goalkeeper.
Wingate's trying to find that quick punch, trying to get in just by chance, get in over the back, see if they can catch Lander sleeping a little bit, see if they can nick one. Lander's done a pretty good job of keeping a pretty tight line and a pretty high line when they have the opportunities. Trying not to let anything drop in behind them. Oh, good ball.
DeGraff able to block that ball out on a right-footed shot that was on goal. So Lander set for another corner here. And
Substitutions for both sides. For Lander, we have number 8, Chris Hobbs, coming into the game.
There's
Hobbs.
Chris Hobbs. Yeah.
Number 7, Sean Gaffney.
Chris does a good job of finding himself in front of the goal and burying his opportunities.
Chris Hobbs, senior from Middlesbrough, England, in for Lander, and it is.
He gets a head on the ball right when he walks in the game. Look at that.
Penalty call there. Had a foul on Lander. Didn't see the infraction there, but Wingate's got it. Trailing 4-1. This was a one-to-one match at halftime. But again, Wingate had a player sent off on a red card. It was Liam Gillespie. And Lander really came out attacking to open the second half. 3 goals, 2 by Dalshy, 1 by Durand. And the first goal tonight for Lander scored by Durand as well. So both Durand and Dalshy with a pair of goals tonight. And in fact, Dalshy has taken the club lead with 9 goals on the season. Durand and Hobbs, who just checked in, with 8 each. Nielsen off his back line for the Lander Bearcats.
Rolling it out. Lots of space right now between the midfield and the backs for Wingate. Lander's doing a good job of exposing some of that possessionally. They're almost being a little bit too unselfish, actually, in the final third.
Dalshy is number 9. He'll touch it back. .21 for Lander in Rosas. Sends it high.
Left back getting forward, wants to take a shot.
Another substitution for Lander, 23, Robert Seaton, who's got 2 goals on the year. Sophomore from Whitby, England, is in. See the American flag at a standstill. Very little wind here tonight and beautiful weather this evening in Greenwood, South Carolina for this match. Game time temperature in the low 70s and dropping, but only slightly, since the start of the match. Very pleasant night here in Greenwood. And friends, don't forget you can follow Torbo Sports online on Twitter at Torbo Sports. We invite you to stay up to date with everything soccer and more on TSG's social media handle for information regarding live soccer matches and a whole lot more at Torbo Sports on Twitter. So Wingate had won its last 2 and 5 of their last 6 matches.
Wingate's settling in right now, knocking the ball around a little bit, trying to pick their points, pick their spots, hoping that they can find a way to nick one and try to reel themselves back in a little bit. Lander's doing a good job of getting numbers behind the ball and trying to make it as difficult as possible.
Wingate will play another South Carolina school on Saturday. They'll play at Newberry, which is only about 40 miles east of here. A chance for Lander.
It's Dalshy.
Dalshy will take his time here, not being challenged, so he'll try to set something up for Lander. 10 is Johansson. Over to the far side of the field now. DeGraff, another save.
That was very well done. They weren't real selfish there, knocked the ball around the park, had a good opportunity.
There's DeGraff, who came on in the second half for Kang. Lander plays at Flagler on Saturday and then Young Harris next week on Wednesday night.
Their schedule is backloaded big time. They've got lots of great competition coming up. The Flagler match against Lander is always extremely difficult. Young Harris is new to the Peach Belt, and last year was a barn burner. So lots of stiff competition coming. They don't have any time to take a break. So
Young Harris ranked number 6 in the nation in this week's poll that came out yesterday. Division II men's soccer, and Lander currently ranked number 12. So that'll be a big matchup on the D2 soccer scene next Wednesday night here at the Jeff May Complex.
Yeah, they get them at home this year, so that'll be a good match for them. It's a great facility to play at. The kids really enjoy it. Ball moves around really well. So it's a fast service. The kids love it.
A little more than midway through the second half here. 3 second-half Lander goals. 2 by Dalchi, 1 by Kevin Durand. And Lander, long drive here, knocked down by DeGraff, and he'll control for Wingate. DeGraff had to know coming in that he would face some shots for the remainder of this match, huh?
I think so. That's probably a reason to give him an opportunity, get him tested a little bit, and show him what he can do.
Nice ball here by Wingate, but Nielsen came sliding out.
Good decision.
Chris, the decision to come off that back line for the goalkeeper is an interesting aspect of soccer, and it's something that you can only learn through experience. And all it takes is one mistake. It can really be a glaring mistake, and you tend to learn from that.
No, absolutely. And, these guys, all of these goalkeepers out here are very well coached and very well instructed and have played at the highest level. So it's fun to watch them, and when they make the right decisions to do something like that to keep the defenders at bay and help their defenders and keep the attackers at bay, it makes things a lot easier for them.
Very much a judgment call for the goalkeeper, though. They're constantly having to make these decisions throughout the course of a match multiple times, over and over again.
Sure. And they're both very athletic. All three of them actually have been very athletic, so it helps them out a little bit. Little keep away. Another ball just extremely unselfish in the final third.
DeGraff comes up with it again here for Wingate. Daniel DeGraff, junior goalkeeper from Statesville, North Carolina. Seeing some playing time in the second half. Lander has pulled away here in the second half.
Scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes and have kind of shut it down a little bit, just kind of maintaining possession. They are still trying to attack off the flanks, but really haven't been as high energy and haven't really gone forward as fast as much.
Yeah, they certainly were high energy to open the second half. 3 goals in those first 10 minutes and really came out looking to attack. It was evident that Lander had every intention of capitalizing on the man advantage, and they came out and did exactly that. And they did it on that left flank, like you said, Chris, scoring chances coming off of long balls to the left flank, and Dalchi in particular able to outrun the defense and score a couple of goals here in the second half.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. That first goal that they got in the second half was a nice little ball from an outside back, I think, into a center midfielder who slotted a nice ball forward, and that started opening the floodgates a little bit.
Let me tell you about the College Showcase Series. Youth clubs and players want to be noticed by the top college programs, and the NSCAA can help. Through its partnership with Elite Tournaments, the NSCAA College Showcase connects you with college coaches so you can show off your talents. Clubs, players, and college coaches can find more information on our website, nscaa.com. Free kick right here, but a ball cleared away by Wingate. We mentioned Wingate with only 4 matches remaining after tonight at Saturday, at Newberry on Saturday. Then they've got Queens and Anderson at home, and they will close at Lincoln Memorial on November the 2nd. That'll wrap up their regular season. And for Lander, we mentioned at Flagler on Saturday. Coach Ayer said it's always a tough match between those two. Then number 6 Young Harris against number 12 Lander here at the Jeff May Complex. That's 1 week from tonight. Lander then gets Limestone at home at North Georgia, and a home match with the Patriots from Francis Marion to wrap it up. And that'll be before the conference tournament gets underway.
It's amazing how fast the season has gone. It's tough to believe there's only really 2.5 weeks left before the playoffs start.
The Peach Belt Conference Tournament will start November 5th. And interesting that Flagler, Young Harris, and Lander are the top 3 teams in the Peach Belt right now, and Lander's next 2 matches are with Flagler and Young Harris, and another chance for the Bearcats, but denied. DeGraff doing a good job in goal here.
Great save there.
But Lander still threatening.
They scored on that one, I believe. I think that got through him.
It sure did. DeGraff had stood up to every challenge since coming into the match, but it is a goal for Lander here, and that rocket shot deflected off of DeGraff. The goal. The goal for Lander scored by number 3, Olivier Gergen.
Center back getting forward.
And that is Olivier's first goal of the year.
That was a good strike.
5-1 now, Bearcats. Lander with 4 goals coming in the second half.
Yeah, it kind of has been a tale of 2 halves. I mean, it took Lander 15 minutes to get themselves going, and after the first 15 minutes, when they did equalize, about 20 minutes in, it's kind of completely changed the game. The red card has been brutal for Wingate, but I think Lander's played a really good game. They've really done what they do well and possess the ball and try to find the spaces to get forward. Here's the goal scoring opportunity. Great saves by the goalkeeper. Ball gets deflected out and cut away from it, but a nice finish there from number 3.
Gergen, first goal of the season. We'll take another look at the goal in just a moment. Gergen make it DeGraff coming off his line and making an aggressive play, and that's the type of judgment call that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. The goalkeeper makes a wrong decision on a ball like that, and it can cost his team dearly. So keepers have to be very careful when they do come off of the line and leave the net vacant.
Lander just knocking the ball around the park right now. Just keeping possession, trying to find enough space and enough seams to go wherever they want to at this point. Another great run.
That pass a touch long for Stephen Bray. We'll get
Here's
a look
the
at the
goal.
goal.
Good save. Another good save. Ball gets cleared out.
2, maybe 3 saves
Right.
for DeGraff, but
he just hammers it.
That one off of DeGraff, so he couldn't handle the last shot. That drive by Gergen. Gergen's a junior. Again, his first goal of the season to go along with 1 assist. It's got to feel good for Olivier to get that first goal of the year.
Ball caught him right under the chin. Lander's still been very aggressive defensively. They've done a good job of filtering numbers behind the ball. As any coach, you don't want to concede a second one regardless. And now that you've got a pretty sizable lead, you want to make sure that you're disciplined defensively and make sure that you're keeping the ball in front of you and doing all the little things right. So
Substitutions again for both sides. Christopher Henderson is in for Lander. He wears number 32. And for Wingate, it's number 24, Jonathan Macker. There's the situation. 5-1 Lander. Scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half and 4 goals total here in the second half.
Yeah, I think shots now are like 21-11. Lander's really turned it on and have done a really good job. I think they've got, of the 21 shots, I think 14 of them are on goal, so they've been efficient. They've done a good job of putting the ball on frame.
This was a close match, tight match in the first half, and Liam Gillespie sent off with a red card late in the first half. And DeGraff came out, knocked that ball out. He had to punch it away, and he knocked it out for a Lander corner kick, and this will be number 10, Michael Johansson. Johansson out of Sweden. Sends it in and headed away for another corner. DeGraff was in position to make the save there, but his defender headed that ball away.
Maybe too many fans in the complex couldn't have heard the communication between the goalkeeper.
You see the conference championship banners and the tournament championship hanging on the fence that surrounds the field here.
Substitution for Wingate in the game number 21, Gustavo Andrade.
Two goals for Durant, 2 for Dauchi, 1 for Olivier Gergen. And Perron de Silva, the lone goal for Wingate. But Wingate scored first in the opening minutes, the 6th minute of the match. De Silva collected a free ball right in front and drove it home with the right foot.
At this point, I think a lot of both sides have really emptied the benches, and you're getting to see a lot of guys who may not play as much, but all doing a very good job.
Let's take a look at some matches that we have coming up for you here on NSCAATV.com. On Saturday, we'll have a 4 o'clock start for Mobile versus Auburn Montgomery. That's NAIA men's soccer. And then at 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, Louisville versus UConn. That game will be played in Louisville, Kentucky. So a doubleheader of college soccer coming up on Saturday here on NSCAATV.com. Hope you'll join us then. 4 o'clock, the action gets underway. And Louisville's athletic department's had a huge year. You know, they won the national championship in
basketball,
men's basketball, and their women's team made the Final Four. I believe they may have made the national championship game, as a matter of fact.
They did.
And
their football team, big time. Charlie Strong's done a good job.
Yeah, Charlie Strong, a former defensive coordinator at the University of South Carolina, and Teddy Bridgewater, I got to believe, is one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy. So
absolutely, they're having a great year.
You can take in Louisville Cardinal soccer with us here on Saturday. Louisville and UConn match starting at 7 o'clock. Six and a half minutes remaining here. gorgeous night in Greenwood, South Carolina. Beautiful fall evening, but a rather warm fall evening. In fact, the temperature hit 80 degrees today here in South Carolina. It's down into the high 60s now. Very nice evening. Maybe 70 degrees right now. Lander continuing to attack. Oh. And that shot high and wide, but
just so unselfish. I mean, just it's almost laughable at times.
The important thing here, Chris Ayer, everybody, a lot of players getting into the match, and I always enjoy seeing lots of people get a chance to play. A lot of these kids put in a lot of time on the practice field, and they got to make the grade and do everything that the kids that get a lot of publicity, a lot of headlines do. But always fun to see some of the lesser knowns get a chance to show what they can do.
Wow, and his squad, Coach Taylor's squad, is really deep as well as Coach Hamill's. I know they both pride themselves in that, and lots of great kids that come out of both of these programs.
Johansson wins a ball for Lander, sends it over to the sideline, and now this pass a little bit long. Lander with number 22, Guillaume Palmette, freshman from France, giving chase, but it will belong to Wingate. The mystery of Wingate, Chris, continues to intrigue me. The conflicting pronunciations of the school's name. And I'll relate the story again. I told you this at the start of the broadcast tonight, but having been to Wingate in the past, I pronounced it Wingate.
Absolutely.
Someone there at the school said, no, it's Wingate.
Right.
So tonight, when we showed up here, I went to the Wingate team and spoke with some of their players. They had a group of people standing around. This is 30 or 45 minutes before the match, and the women's game was still going on. So I asked one of the assistant coaches, first person I spoke to there, I said, is it Wingate or Wingate? And one of the Wingate players stepped up and said, I'm from New York State, and it's Wingate.
Right.
And then the trainer next to him, young lady, said, no, I am local, from the Charlotte area. I'm from the area. I'm a local, and the locals pronounce it Wingate. So we have called them both tonight.
Tomato, tomato. Yeah, I think we have.
I hope the good folks at Wingate do not mind. We have used both pronunciations tonight, but nevertheless, a very pleasant bunch from Wingate, the Bulldogs. I had a nice chat with one of the Wingate assistant coaches tonight. It was Joey Calandra, who is a 2012 Wingate graduate. He's from South Carolina. He went to Bishop England down in Charleston and played soccer there. And he gave me a ton of information on Wingate soccer and players and coaches, and was a very pleasant fellow. And then some of the players heard our conversation, and he asked them for some information. They sort of gathered around, and the trainers were there. We had a nice chat. It was good talking with him.
And these two programs are, traditionally it's a phenomenal match. They play each other nearly every year, and so they do know the programs and how each other like to play, and it's a very, very good competitive rivalry. And I think it's always a match that everybody gets up for. So fun to see it happen.
Lander and White here looking for another scoring chance. Off the woodwork. Was it in?
They called him offsides.
Offside to call. Boy, that hit the bottom half of the crossbar.
Very good individualism there. That was some really good stuff technically.
Lander nearly netted its sixth goal of this match, but they have had it on cruise control much of the second half here, Chris. 3 goals in the first 10 minutes to break this game open for Lander with a one-man advantage that they gained when Wingate was red carded late in the first half. Gillespie sent off for the Bulldogs, and Lander came out attacking, scored 3 goals in the first 10 of the second half, and really have cruised. They got the late goal from Olivier Gergen, his first of the season.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. Coach Taylor's probably ecstatic. They really came out and were on fire and put the game away very, very quickly in the second half. And they, like you said, they've been able to sit on cruise control and kind of have their way for a little while.
Right-footed shot by 22. That was Palmette, but it was turned away in front by one of the Wingate defenders. Got a heel on it, got a foot on it, able to knock it away. So we are down to the final minute of action here. I want to send along our thanks once again to Jeff May, the athletic director here at Lander. The complex here in Greenwood is named after him. And again, can't say enough about what a beautiful sports complex there is here. Only an eighth of a mile from the campus. It's basically right across the street from Lander University's campus proper. And another save here by DeGroff, who's played well in net for Wingate. Final 30 seconds here. But Jeff May joined us in the second half to talk about Lander athletics and what a fine representative he is for this university, and a former student athlete here at Lander, and has lived his entire professional life essentially working for Lander University. So he's a great representative for them, and we appreciate the hospitality from him and everyone here at Lander University. And there's your match, 5-1. Lander defeats Wingate in a non-conference matchup tonight here at the Jeff May Complex in Greenwood, South Carolina. Lander University, the site of tonight's match here on NSCAATV.com. Final score, Lander 5, Wingate 1. And again, Lander will have a match at Flagler on Saturday, and then 6th-ranked Young Harris comes here on Wednesday. And Wingate plays at Newberry on Saturday afternoon. We'll take a look now at some of the second half highlights. There's a goal by Dauchi. That was in the second half. Another goal by Dauchi. Got the big toe on that to redirect right in front of Sanjit Kang. Now we have a missed opportunity there by Wingate. Good scoring chance it was, but it went by the board. And now beautifully unselfish pass there by Machado Deluz. And the goal for Lander. A save there by DeGraff for Wingate. And we will have another DeGraff save. Remember, he came in the second half, Chris, and really showed us something.
Yeah, he did a great job. He was definitely getting tested.
And this will be the 5th and final Lander goal coming up right here by number 3, Olivier Gergen. DeGraff got in front of it but could not stop it. And that's going to put a wrap on the highlights here. 5-1. Again, the final here. Friends, don't forget the registration is now open for the 2014 NSCAA convention. 10,000 of your coaching peers will be there for soccer's biggest party. It's January 15th through the 19th in Philadelphia. We invite you to check out the website and register now. Go to nscaa.com/convention for all of the event details. That's going to wrap it up. My partner tonight, Chris Ayer. Great working with you, Chris.
Thanks for working with me. Great job tonight. You guys do a great job out here.
All right, we appreciate that. My name's Emerson Phillips, and we thank our crew from Torbo Sports Group. That's going to wrap it up. 5-1. Lander defeats Wingate. Good night from Greenwood, South Carolina.
Why do students choose Lander University? With more than 60 areas of study, an exceptional honors college, unique master's programs, vibrant campus life, competitive athletics, and exciting opportunities for study abroad and experiential learning. There are so many reasons why students choose Lander. Plan your campus visit today and discover why you'll choose Lander University. Lander, your state university in Greenwood, South Carolina.
What is Wingate? A thriving university nestled in a quiet community near Charlotte. Named 6th best value in the South by U.S. News & World Report. leading the way in the health sciences with pharmacy, PA studies, and nursing. What is Wingate? Big enough to offer 22 NCAA sports, small enough to attract the best and brightest in the world. What is Wingate? Wingate is you. Wingate University, major in a great life.